Hey, folks, it's time for the quote of the day. And depending upon where you lie politically, this is going to either be a really fucking informative one or one where you're going to hate me afterwards and see me as a puppet, which a lot of people do already. So, whatever. Today, the man that I'm quoting, again, this is going to be something where if you know who he is and you're of rational, sound mind and body, then this will be interesting for you if you don't know some of these factoids. But for the most part, he has done something that really no other uber rich person has ever done, and that is given away billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. Now, the other side of the political aisle will look at him and say that he is essentially, a liberal Lex Luthor. He is the personification of evil and has his fingers in every bit of like political, geopolitical, global machinations, is there, with the Illuminati and whoever else, controlling everything from his filthy Jew lair. I'm not joking. That that would be the person I'm quoting today, is George Soros. Now, why am I quoting him? Well, it's his birthday, and he's 96 years old, and so I feel like time's a ticking. I better get it in there while I can. You know what I mean? And that's I'm no offense to him. I just that obviously that's a joke, but he is getting old, and he knows it. I'm not. This isn't breaking news for him. But if he ever sees the video, right? But yes, this is a man who was born in Hungary, Budapest, and he was a Jew, and he basically came up, went to school, and has a genius level IQ, and went to school for science and philosophy and finance, and used those things to basically take over a hedge fund, and then took the money that that hedge fund made and opened up another hedge fund, and then took that money and put it into other things that are basically hedge fundy in to a certain degree, and basically just ended up investing and investing and investing to the point where he became worth billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. He literally played the game. That's all he did. That's that all of the fucking conspiracy, all of the rumors, all of the bullshit, it's all just lies. It's lies about him. And that's all it is. And we're going to talk about it, but I just want to make sure I want to come right out and say that. It's none of it's true. So if you're somebody that has the inclination to believe that he is some sort of global mastermind that is using his money to buy elections and shit like that, well, first of all, you're a fucking idiot. And second of all, this is your one chance to jump off the stupid train and actually listen to some reason. Otherwise, I got nothing for you. Now, George Soros, I don't know if I could say he's a good man because it's really hard to find, what we would consider to be ethical billionaires. Like it's I imagine he's probably done some pretty fucking heinous shit, especially when it comes to like, short selling. I mean, but the dude basically crashed entire economies by doing short sales and things like that. And some people would say that that is, not ethical, but at the same time, the rules are there, as Trump would say, right? Like there, I can't say he's a good man again, but I can say that what he's done with his money, like what he's done with it, is actually very, very good. This is a man that has given away over fucking $30 billion. Like literally just gave it away. Didn't fucking expect anything in return. This wasn't like investment type stuff. Just gave away that money because he had it. And that's basically what the quote of the day says, which I will give to you in a few minutes. But that's who he is. He got a bunch of money. He doesn't need that money, so he gives it away. And that's as heinous as it gets. Now, why is there such a cult of hatred around this man? That's the question that really is important. And that's where I'm going to need those of you that are trying to jump off the stupid train. Listen, this is important. You need to understand this. This is very, very true. All of this, all of the things that people think about him, which I'll be honest, it's so ubiquitous that I didn't even recognize it. Like I don't remember the first time I heard the name George Soros. I mean, it was a name that was just thrown out like who the fuck is this guy? I don't know. But this was quite literally a propaganda campaign that started like a long time ago, like in the 90s, like mid to late 90s. And it was because, now pay attention here because this is important, it was because he was pro-democracy. Now, keep in mind, this is a guy that was from Hungary. He played the game. He did all those things. Now, yes, he was dealing in U.S. assets and things like that when he was playing the markets. but he was from Hungary, and he was, near Russia and all these things, and these governments really didn't like the fact that you had this guy, this Jew, right? This Hungarian-born Jew in finance, no less. How much more could he fit check all the boxes of being this horrible, horrible person? And here he was talking about how great democracy was, and even how great capitalism could be, but was still saying things like, we need to control this. It can't be unfettered capitalism. We need to control the reins on it a little bit. Like literally saying these things, speaking out against communism, and saying, we need democracy in these places. Well, what do you think the Russian government did? They hired literally some of the best fucking propaganda artists on the planet to come in and start talking shit about him. Now this basically stayed in Eastern Europe. Like it didn't really hit American shores for a long time unless somebody came over here and they had bought into the propaganda and they just started spouting the bullshit. It wasn't until Fox News picked up this level of bullshit and realized that they had a boogeyman that they could use for anything. It was the same exact playbook that they had already used in Eastern Europe. It was the same stuff, and Fox News picked it up and ran with it. And that's where you get to where we are today, where there is millions and millions and millions of people that genuinely believe that George Soros is this evil Jewish billionaire out there buying elections and funding the most, horrible fucking things. But that's not really what has happened. That's not really who he is. That he's never done any of that. And believe me, I would know. I'm a fucking leftist creator. If George Soros was handing out checks, I would be doing whatever I needed to do to get them Daddy Soros bucks. Trust me, I would be. I'm broke. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't do it. He never has done it. Yes, he gives his money away. He gives his money to all sorts of charities, to all sorts of things. There is a very, very good possibility that the people that actively hate him and get on the internet and spread fucking lies about him have benefited from something that George Soros has given money to, because he gives that kind of money to all sorts of people. Now, yes, they're progressive, they're liberal. Yes, that's what he is. He does believe in those values. These are important to him, and that should tell you everything you need to know about why they stand against him. Because you have somebody that has the money that they have for that they got, their ill-gotten gains that they usually will use to propagandize their base and anybody else that'll fucking listen. And he says, well, I'm just going to give my money to people where they can actually do something with it, instead of just spending it on myself and on making the world a worse place. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to glaze George Soros. I'm just telling you what he has done. I mean, you can look it up if you actually want to do it. If you want to take the time to go look him up, you'll be moved. You'll be inspired, because that's what he's done with his money. He's put it in a lot of good places. Has he had some misses? Sure. But when you spread around that kind of money, some people are going to use it for horrible things. It's just the nature of the game. But over the course of his philanthropy, he has done a lot of good to further both liberal and progressive causes. Now, why did he do it? That brings us to the quote of the day. And I think that this is something that is very important. It's a defense of his own, but it is something that he said, and I believe him. George Soros said, "I'm not doing my philanthropic work out of any kind of guilt or any need to create good public relations. I'm doing it because I can afford to do it, and I believe in it." He can afford to do it. He's got the money, and he wants to use it for good. It's that simple. There's no conspiracy. There's no other bullshit that we need to think about. You can dig up and find any sort of thing that fits your narrative if you'd like to, but it's just not reality. And so for his birthday, his 96th birthday, I thought that maybe I would just shine a little light on a guy that, yes, has billions of dollars and may have made many of them in unscrupulous ways, but has done so much good in this world with that money that it is really, really hard for me to take him to task for how he came about that money, considering that, if anything, he only really hurt governments. And that was kind of his point. Happy birthday to George Soros, and you can make the check out to A Pebble in a Pond if you'd like to. The rest of you, please take care of yourself and take care of others. I'll talk to you soon.